अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललित श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवयां भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम्। I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross the mountains. I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. I seek forgiveness for any transgressions I may commit. So, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's a very special occasion also today. Uh, Today is the day when Ram Lalla has been, welcomed into uh, Ayodhya after 550 years of exile. And, so thank you for coming for the class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are actually reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Status Quo, and the chapter 12 titled Creation of the Kumaras and Others. Verse number 32, Tasmin Namo Bhagavate Ya idam sevana ruchisya atmastam yanjayam asa sa dharma utam archa. Arhit. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, who, by his own effulgence, while situated in himself, has manifested this cosmos. He may also protect religion for all goodness. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lust for sexual intercourse is so strong that it appears herein Brahma could not be deceived from his determination in spite of the appeal by his great sons like Marichi. Therefore the great sons began to pray to the Supreme Lord for the good sense for the good sense of Brahma. It is only by the grace of Supreme Lord that one can be protected from allurement of lusty material. The Lord gives protection to devotees who are always engaged in his transcendental loving service, and by his causeless mercy, he forgives the accidental fall of a devotee. Therefore, sages like Marichi prayed for the mercy of the Lord, and their prayers were true. So, when we look at the verse itself, by itself, it looks like it is an offering of obeisances to the Supreme Lord, which it is. Here, Marichi, great sages like Marichi and other sons of Brahma are actually appealing to the Lord. What are they doing? They are requesting that Brahma be dissuaded from his, uh, abominable act that he is adamantly bent on executing. Who is Brahma? Brahma is the direct son of the Lord. And in spite of that, if you remember, he also prayed to the Lord and asked for protection. And the Lord had assured him that in spite of that, Brahma is being, allured by Maya, and, Brahma has lost uh, you know, his composure, his, you know, state of mind, and he's bent on going after his own. And that is why this prayer is being put forth by Marichi and others. And like Prabhupada at the end says, the Lord, praying to the Lord, and their prayers were fulfilled. This particular conversation takes me directly to, the conversation that Lord Shiva and Mother Sati are having in the fourth canto, third chapter, 17th verse. Let's just take a quick look at that. Vidya tapto vitti vapur yuha kalauha satam gunai shadbhir ashattametharaihi samrutha hatayam bhrut manu durdarsha stabdana pashyantihi dhama bhushyama. So here Lord Shiva is actually speaking to Sati Devi. And the context is, of course, Daksha, Prajapati Daksha. So what Lord Shiva is saying is, although the six qualities, opulences, education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage, are for the highly elevated, one who is proud of possessing them becomes blind, and thus he loses his good sense and cannot appreciate the glories of greatness. So when I read this from Daksha, somehow maybe it's just the theme of the day, my mind goes to Ravana. Who is Ravana? Ravana is the great grandson of Brahma. We can actually take a look at the family tree of Ram. From Brahma was born, the Manasaputra was Pulasya. From Pulasya came Vishravas. From Vishravas, Devarani, you know, Vishravas and Devarani, Kubera was born. And then from Kaikasi, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Shurpanaka, and Vibhishana was born. So the lineage is very, very exalted. And even, Ravana is not an ordinary person. He has all the six opulences in abundance. And in spite of that, what happens to Rama is that he falls. And he is very, very active. Uh, he is possessed with lusty desires. He conquers the entire world. He has wealth, he has power, and in spite of that, he also has the weakness for woman. And that is why, what happens is he goes after, uh, Mother Sita. So there's no, taking away. That is Ravana's downfall. Otherwise, he was known to be like knowledgeable person doing lot of, things. While discussing this, my mind goes back to Ayodhya, where, today they have welcomed Ram Lalla with pomp, and, everyone is so happy. It took 550 years for Ram Lalla to come back. The festivities in Ayodhya are, really heart-filling. And then there are festivities all over the country and all over the planet. So this festivities is actually reminding me of the first canto, chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. How Lord Krishna was welcomed into Dwarka. So Before entering Dwarka, Lord Krishna actually blew the conch shell, informing all the citizens of Dwarka that he is entering Dwarka. Now, by the touch of his lips, the conch shell had turned red like lotus flower. Then, hearing that sound from the conch, which gives fears to the dangers of material existence, the citizens ran quickly towards the Lord to have a long desired audience with him. So all the citizens are longing to have this uh, view, you know, to meet with the Lord. And so they all ran towards him. You know, the citizens affectionately welcomed the Lord, offering gifts and began speaking ecstatically to him. Their presentations were like lamps offered to the sun, since the Lord is self-sufficient, fully satisfied, and supplied everyone. So today, if you look at Ayodhya, it's same scenario. Everything being repeated. Whatever is being said here is being repeated. The citizens are so much overflowing. They want to take a glimpse of Ram Lalla, and the city is being thronged. So much so that the government has announced for the first few days, please don't try to visit because the crowds have to come down. No? So then, it goes on in this chapter. Uh, O Krishna, we continually offer respects to your lotus feet. All the citizens are saying this. Worshipped, your lotus feet are worshipped by Lord Brahma, the Kumaras and Indras, the supreme shelter for those who aspire for the highest benefit in life, never influenced by time. Then they are surrendering to Krishna to give all success. O Creator of the universe, you work for our best welfare. You alone are our mother, well-wisher, friend, master, father, guru, and worshipable deity. By following you, we become successful. It is our good fortune to come again under your protection and have the rare darshan of your smiling face filled with affectionate glances, which is rarely seen even by the demigods. So this particular, smile that the Lord has on his face is rarely seen even by the demigods. That is why, when you go to some of these dhams, what we are told is in the mornings, all the, you know, like us human beings get darshan, whereas in the night, particularly in Jagannath, Puri Jagannath, all the demigods come and take darshan of the Lord. And, it's so rare. We are all really, uh, what do you say? We are all blessed to be, in this situation. And the citizens are still saying, you know, whenever you go to Mathura or Vrindavan or Hastinapur to meet your friends, every moment seems like millions of years, and our eyes become like eyes without suns. You are always, you are always abroad. How can we stay alive, not seeing your beautiful smiling face with its pleasing glances and vanquish all suffering? So these things, like when we read some of these scriptural things, we think, is this really possible? Do people do this? There are so many examples that are coming out, you know, so many examples that are coming out that we hear every day. There is this lady who had stopped speaking for the past 30 years, and she said she's not going to speak until Ramlala has been installed and a temple built for. Then there is this particular, uh, you know, community near Ayodhya. When the temple was broken 550 years ago, they all took a vow that they will not wear the pagadi and they will not wear padukas. No, they were actually Kshatriyas. And until today, when the conscription happened, they never wore the pagadi and they never wore the padukas. Generations after generations, they kept doing this custom. And now they are all doing it. Then there is also, you know, I don't want to become political, but even uh, the Prime Minister himself, he had said he's not going to enter Ayodhya after the Rath Yatra, that until the temple is built, he is not going to enter. So there are so many great devotees we have to remember. When North India was under invasions, and these invasions destroyed every single temple available in North India. What happened was, be it Ayodhya, Mathura, Vrindavan, you know, all these deities were under danger. And when some of these deities were actually carved by none other than, uh, one second, I forget the name. Uh, Raj- I don't know why I'm forgetting the name. Vajranabha. Yes, he is the great grandson of, sorry, not great grandson. He is the grandson of uh, Krishna, Vajranabha. Some of these deities were hand carved by Vajranabha. He was a great sculptor by himself. He was also, he had all the six qualities in abundance, and he put it to the right use. Who is Vajranabha? Vajranabha was all, like when Parikshit Maharaj was crowned by Yudhishthira Maharaj, Vajranabha was also crowned by Yudhishthira Maharaj to, rule over Mathura and Vrindavan. And these deities, when they were in danger, the caretakers of these deities, the pujaris and the devotees, what they did was they took these deities and they ran away with these deities under the oath of secrecy. They knew their lives were under danger, but they didn't care. They took the oath that they will protect the deities until when the environment becomes safe, and then the deities can resurface. That is the reason sometimes when we go to Vrindavan, Mathura, and all these places, we find these deities in foreign places where, we say, oh, this was the palace of Radharani or this was the palace of somebody, but the surroundings doesn't look like a palace. Why? Because they had to put it in secrecy and they kept it in very common surroundings. Nobody would talk about it. Even today, you go to Braj and other places and you try to speak to somebody and ask some questions, they will not reveal it to you. Unless they know that you're a devotee of the Lord, they're not going to reveal you the place where a particular deity is. It's kept under secrecy. And some of the deities have resurfaced, like we have seen it in Jaipur, and Srinathji and others. But there are several others that have not surfaced. And the caretakers of these deities for several 20 plus generations, they're still taking care of those of those deities. They do their daily services, not miss one, but we don't even hear of them. And they're waiting for the right moment when they can bring those deities out with full protection and, you know, restore them back to their devotees. That is the status today. So what we have to understand is, now that Ayodhya, you know, Ram Lalla has come back to Ayodhya and he's there with full affluence. He's being protected, so that nobody can breach into that. And all the devotional services are being done. We should also think in the same terms, if we compare our hearts to Ayodhya, we need to cleanse this Ayodhya of all the material conditions. And we should actually make it impregnable or unbreachable by Maya through devotional service, through the instructions that our spiritual masters are giving, through the instructions that Srila Prabhupada has given to us. And then, we should welcome the Lord and his lotus, the lotus feet of the Lord and the Lord himself to come and stay in this Ayodhya of our hearts. I don't have anything else to say. Uh, so today is such a happy day. So I want to just say Jai Shri Ram, Hare Krishna. If you have any questions or comments, please make your call. Okay? If there are no comments,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Jai Sri Ram, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Sarupad.
all glory
Prabhu,
to Sri.
no, thank you, Prabhu. I'm recently started to join these classes now that
Mhm.
my turn is coming up soon. But thank you. It was very, very, very info, very, very knowledgeable, and also adding a lot of your uh, knowledge as well as experience. So I greatly appreciate, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, and we are looking forward for your class also. Please. You know,
Yeah,
thank you.
Prabhu. Thank you. Please pray for me.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you
Hare.
so much. Yeah, yesterday also we were just thinking how you also drew parallels to Krishna
Mhm.
coming back to Dwaraka
Yeah.
with what episode is happening now in Ayodhya. So
Yeah.
we are thinking, Panduranga Gopal was sharing. So how is it? I mean, when we read that, right? How is it possible whole city was
Yeah.
decorated and then doing everything, right, to receive Krishna?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course, now whole country are
Yeah.
right
Mhm.
behind that and trying to whatever
Mhm.
offerings they want to do, they're doing it, and whatever we see some clips here
Yeah.
and there. So people are trying to offer, and I mean, irrespective of what status they are, I mean, whatever it is,
Correct,
right?
Prabhu.
So, based on their understanding to offer to the Lord.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. If you look at the chapter Dwaraka, like you will see that there's festival decorations. They're washing the streets, decorating with flowers. Then, there are uh, like so many dignitaries arriving, like Vasudeva, Akrura, Ugrasena, Balarama, Pradyumna, so on and so forth. Today, you can also may we may not be able to compare them to these divinities, but it's completely filled with all dignitaries. And then even prostitutes are also coming to receive the Lord. The Lord doesn't discriminate. Expert dramatists, artists, and singers and historians, genealogists, everyone come to visit Lord Krishna. The same thing is happening today. Lord Krishna is duly honored by everyone with smiling faces and so dances and kirtans. And then the women of Dwarka, they're standing on the rooftops and they're welcoming and they're talking to each other. We also saw how Lord Krishna would reciprocate their, sideway glances with his smiles and the insatiable beauty of the Dwarka Vasis. Then the Lord's beauty is discovered. After that, what does the Lord do? The Lord first meets all, his mother Devaki and all other mothers. The same thing that Lord Rama did. Yesterday, Shivalabha Prabhu was so nicely explaining how Lord Rama, first went and, you know, touched the feet of his mothers. And then he spoke to everyone. Then, Lord Krishna goes and he meets all his queens. And then, one step at a time, you know. So if you look at what is happening, what happened in Dwaraka, very similar things are being followed now in Ayodhya, when when Lord Ram Lalla is being brought back to Ayodhya. So much of celebrity, so much of celebrations. So thank you, Prabhu.
thank you, Prabhu.
So if there is no more comments or anything, I think we can end the call here today. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindho evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti. Hare